Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another edition of Lifestyle with me and of course some other sisters. We will have some segments in our program, and as you know, for the first one we are going to introduce is Raise Your Voice with Sister Nasreen. Assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. As you know, my name is Sister Nasreen Sayed, and I'm here for Raise Your Voice, which means exactly raise your voice. We want the viewers to raise their voice about their ideas, maybe recipes, even things that come on in the program and that you want to share, that you think, you know, there's so much barakat in sharing your knowledge with other Muslims, because we, you know,
it is
going
zakat,
after
actually,
knowledge about, you know, Islamic lifestyles, especially at this time when there's so much other contradicting things, and you know, we all need it. So please raise your voice and give us all your ideas and practical hints for life, and all your questions as well, anything that you have for the program. So back to you.
Yes, definitely, and you can see the numbers on the screen right now. Thank you so much, sister.
Yes.
Okay, and we have a very delicious part of this program that is by Sister Fatima. Okay, assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you today?
Hungry.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Every time actually I want to choose a recipe and it has icing, I remember you. Someone got the double of the icing.
Yes,
So salam alaikum, dear viewers. Thank you very much for joining us on today's lifestyle. Inshallah, today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe of a dessert. It's something that is actually very popular with kids, and we tried to make it really healthy. Should I reveal it?
Oh
Yes,
yes,
please.
why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing strawberry donuts, but they're not yeast-based donuts. They're cake donuts.
But
So
they are strawberry.
they're strawberry,
Yeah,
lots
okay.
of it.
And have you done anything to make it healthier, actually?
Yeah, definitely. We always do. So inshallah, stay tuned, and then we're going to share the secrets with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sister. All right, we will have a very outstanding and inspiring lecture. As you know, always we have a guest and an expert, of course. Today we are going to have Sister Dr. Razia, and she's here with us, an inspiring lecturer, and everybody knows around the world, actually. As you know, she travels around the world and he gives different lectures considering Islamic issues, Islamic actually topics and subjects. As you know, we are trying to have some experts who are well known around the world. So she is, mashallah, a mother of 3 boys and a writer. Actually, she is the author of a very great book, and I love the title, honestly, 40 Steps to Forever. Am I right, sister?
Yes.
Welcome, salam alaikum, and welcome to our program today.
Thank you so much for having
You're
me
welcome.
here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's get the show going. So, how's it going? You're fine?
I really like the environment, very friendly. Oh, mashallah.
Thank you so much, dear sister. All right, today we are going to talk about a very nice, lovely, romantic, meanwhile hard subject. It is called marriage. All right. So, what is marriage? Actually, if you look up in the word, look up in the dictionary for the word marriage, you would come to something like legally or socially, I don't know, union of 2 people. When 2 people are together, and it's going to establish actually some rights and some obligations. When we say obligations, you know, it comes to your mind, it brings something to your mind, like, for example, some maybe limitations, restrictions, all right? It is going to be something not very lovely maybe, because it might, you might not feel that free, all right? You might feel more confined. You would lose your freedom somehow. So we need to know the purpose of marriage. What is really the purpose of marriage if we are going to lose our freedom? But on the other hand, we can see that we are always we have this desire to get married. Why? Because some people are going to find joy, hope, stability. You know, marriage has a lot of merits. Maybe some people are looking for a safe haven. Some people are looking for kids. Whatever it is, we need to focus on it. So today we are zooming on this topic, and thank you for being with us. All right, thank you, sister, so much. Let's start with the purpose of marriage. Why do we need to marry?
Yeah, as a Muslim, definitely we have a different kind of purpose because our deen, our religion, as the name of this program is lifestyle, and I always call that religion means lifestyle. Yeah,
exactly.
So that is as a religious human being, we have our own culture. So if I'm looking for someone to be a partner of my life, so if my goal, whatever goal I'm fixing for my life, so I'm looking for supporter. Yeah. So you can see beautifully in the amazing, outstanding life of Lady Fatima al-Zahra that how she would say, and also Imam Ali, he would say about her that ni'mal aun ala ta'atillah, because the purpose of life of our role models is ta'atullah, means obeying Allah, getting closer to Allah. So he's defining Lady Fatima, Imam Ali, as a best supporter, ni'mah, because if our purpose of life is to just, to be a good servant of Allah and to enjoy this life, then we need someone to support, to help, to be a partner in this main stream of the life which we are focusing.
Yes, mashallah. Thank you so much. Let's go to the kitchen for a short time, all right? Let's see, Sister Fatima, you wanted to add something, am I right?
Yes.
Yes, please.
I forgot to add that we are also, inshallah, going to do an herbal drink, today. And since I'm totally in love with saffron, so I managed to actually present a drink that because we are going to be doing a dessert, and it's always the culture that people have their dessert with coffee or tea. So we thought that why not do herbal drinks that are actually really, really good for your health, and they taste really good. Now, one thing about herbal drinks is that they have to steep. They have to steep for quite a long time. If you want, especially if they're natural, if they don't have any preservatives, they have to rest for a long time. The best way that I like to make herbal drinks at home is to put it in a flask and then close it tightly and let it stay there for like 1 hour. All right, so our water is boiling, and it's actually ready to put inside. I just wanted to show you something about saffron. Many people don't know how to use saffron. Maybe it's not very common in many different cuisines. Saffron comes in threads. Saffron comes in threads, and there are different qualities of saffron. The best way to use saffron, actually the way you use saffron, is you have to crush it. You don't use the big threads in your food because they don't really give out much color. If the camera could show the threads of saffron here. So I'm just using a small grinder, a hand grinder, to grind the saffron. In this way you can get the most flavor and color out of the saffron. And remember, we don't only use saffron because of the color. It also has a lot of nutritional values. For example, for your white blood cells, for your skin, it fights depression. That's actually a very important thing because saffron is very much known as the cure of happiness. It's a natural happiness bringing element. So I'm not going to put my saffron in here because I feel like it's going to be wasted. So I'm just going to put it straight in the pot. And remember, good quality saffron, you just need a little bit of it to give you the color. So I'm just going to put a little bit.
They have happy pills, and this is the happy powder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, you're right.
I love to have saffron in
the good powder.
All of the herbal drinks that I have. No matter what you're having, saffron always makes it taste really amazing.
It's great for painting with too.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, the color, natural paints.
So today we're going to be doing a quince herbal drink. What I love about quince is that it has this sort of slight sweet aftertaste, and when it steeps, it tastes so amazing. I really recommend that you try it. So
that's good, because you know, quince is something that we want to use more, because there are hadiths of it. I can't remember all of them right now, but
Yes.
because she keeps these recipes a secret from us. But the thing is that we don't always know how to use it. You
Exactly.
know? And there's some ways to make tea, but you know, it's good that we have.
I'm using a dried quince, and it's really easy. I think that the most flavor that you can get is when you dry like in herbal drinks. You know, tea is also always dry: green tea, black tea, red tea, or as we call it, sour tea. Different kinds of tea. It's always used as in its dry form. So quince, you can dry it in the oven. You make thin slices, or not too thin. And then you put it in the oven on very low temperature, like 120, 125, and then it needs quite some time, but it's going to dry out. So I'm going to cut it into small pieces.
Like overnight or an hour or something?
I don't know about overnight, maybe like 3 or 4 hours I think it needs, but you always have to check on it because ovens are different. So in order to get the most flavor out of it, smell it. It already
Yeah,
smells
sure
really,
it
really
is.
good. And also for pregnant
Maybe I
women,
can't smell. Yeah.
quince is also very recommended because of the beauty of the child. And Sister Najafi, please inform us more about the benefits on
people
quince.
are always, especially pregnant women, they are always looking for quince,
Quince,
and
exactly.
this is also very good for cold. Yeah,
Mm.
especially in winter. So it's so nice to have the drink of quince
Thank
in
you.
our daily life.
I'm sure it must have also similarities with an apple, no?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Apple
Yeah.
or pear, something, because
But
same
it
family,
smells
yeah.
so amazing.
yeah.
So I'm also going to add some cinnamon. Like, it depends on how much cinnamony you like your dessert to be. So I'm just going to take 1 stick. And also cardamom. Remember, the best kind of cardamom is green cardamom. That's like when it's most fresh, right? Sometimes when you buy cardamom, it's usually yellow. And from the smell, you can see that it's really amazing. So always remember, when you're using cardamom, open it. Take the beans out, because when it's closed, you don't really get, it's just like using threads of saffron, you know? So I'm just going to use 2 or 3 or 4 cardamoms inside here.
Yeah, cardamom really adds a beautiful flavor
It
to it. I
does.
can't make tea without it, even if it's black tea, which
Yeah.
I try not to make, but cardamom just adds.
Do you drink black tea? I have heard a lot
no,
about
not-
it. Yeah, it's
not
harmful.
really
There's no
anymore.
benefit.
Mint tea
And
usually, or
yeah.
something like this, but if I do, then the cardamom has to go
Yeah,
in.
actually, I have replaced it with quince tea. Like that's just quince and nothing else. You know, quince itself has enough smell. I don't need. I think
True,
sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
you
right.
can add something else. And
But the
what
mint
about
also
rose
mint tea for
water?
digestion.
I usually
rose
add
water
some
too.
rose water.
It's
too.
amazing, exactly.
Yeah.
Inshallah, we're
I'm
going to
not
do
fond of
different
it.
herbal drinks every session, or at least the sessions that we have desserts, we're going to do herbal drinks. So we're going to be introducing a lot. I'm just going to let this, and I'm going to turn the candle on. And then inshallah, by the end of the program, we're going to be enjoying some really nice quince tea.
Inshallah,
back to you.
inshallah. Sister Nasrin, do you have anything to add?
Just that cinnamon is so good that, you know, it's a trigger for the brain, and it also allows for the body to absorb the nutrients from the other things that that we're taking in. Like, for example, she puts in the tea, it helps to absorb the quinces, the other, you know,
Thank you.
the saffron and
Yeah.
everything. So it's very good. There was something else, but anyway, it'll come up later.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sister. All right, let's go back to our own discussion. Let's talk about marriage in different faith. I mean, marrying someone of a different faith or race even. Can I marry someone who's black or Christian? Or blonde and Jew? I don't know.
Yeah, if we want to be a guest of the Holy Book of Quran, so Quran is straight away giving us a beautiful guidance that only one place, I think Quran says, لا تنكحوا. You are not allowed to marry. To whom? Al-Mushrikeen means the disbeliever,
Yeah.
and also Al-Mushrikat. So, but from if someone is believer, as if I'm the believer, so I have to look for believer, because believers are the compatible for each other, hamkuf of each other. So that is the criteria which we have in Islam. Islam is looking, as I've told before, that because our purpose of life is to be a good practicing human being, like to enjoy this life, definitely, because we can only enjoy when we know the purpose of our creation. Yeah,
exactly.
So then I have to look for someone who is
helping you, supporting you to pull yourself up to the next level.
So it doesn't matter from which race that person is. If your mentality is matching with others, then that is the utmost goal in our life, and we are looking for that one. So according to Islam, we are not like there's no any boundary. Only the boundary is Islam and your faith. If you are the faithful person, you have to marry to the faithful person. That is the most important thing. And the second one, definitely, we have some sayings from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. They say, إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرَضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. If you are satisfied with someone whose religion, in concern to religion, and you are happy and satisfied with that person, and definitely akhlaq and the behavior, morally, if you feel that you are suitable, matchable with each other, just zawwiju, just marry your daughters, your sons. But one thing which usually, Sister Nasreen, even you know better, because we have faced so many problems, we have seen so many problems in the world, that people, they don't know actually who is the right religious practicing person. The definition of the person who is practicing the religion is very, very difficult. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, what is your opinion about, like, how do you judge that this person is religious?
It is actually, honestly, first thing that comes to my mind is the appearance of the person. I cannot, for example, when I see someone who is not wearing hijab, all right, she doesn't seem that she's practicing Islam. I know maybe she has some problems or something, but appearance, for the first thing, that is what I see. I see that person, so yes, the first thing is the appearance. The second one is what she's talking about, actually. And yes.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it's true. We're attracted to people who are on our level, and if the person is talking, excuse me, but sometimes rubbish, or maybe worldly things, or how, intellectual, or I don't want to use the word intellectual, but important, how
materialistic
important this subject
are.
is, that they're talking to to our life.
Yes.
Because usually people, they judge by their parents, means like the person who's praying salah, performing prayers on time, or going for ziyarat, or I don't know, his or her attendance in Islamic center. That is the most important thing. We are looking, oh yeah, this person, because he comes a lot to the mosque, for example, that person is a religious, so he's suitable for me. But according to our Islamic tradition, no, لا تنظروا إلى طول ركوعه or sujudihi. Don't look at, don't judge anyone by just of his or her ibadat, the way he's or she's worshipping Allah. No, but انظروا إلى صدق الحديث, first of all, and أداء الأمانة, like how much that person is truthful. Yeah, that is the main thing in Islam.
Yeah, maybe not the duration of ruku.
That is akhlaq.
But he needs to be someone who is praying, actually. This is the first step. Yeah.
But not only that.
Definitely, this is a must, but not enough. Yeah. Yes,
well, the thing is, if a person is truthful and is not praying, there might be a simple ignorance behind it. That
then you can fix it very easily.
The Prophet said,
like even the hijab, as you say, that those kind of very like branches, furu' problems. Like the root is that you are the a true human being. You are fulfilling your duties. Whatever you know, you are trying to act upon that. But if you don't know something, then you will come.
Yes,
Like that
yes,
yeah,
definitely. If he
yeah.
or she doesn't
Yeah.
know about it,
Yeah,
it's another
exactly.
issue, you know. That's
Well,
another.
that's coming from truth,
Yeah.
right? The
topic.
Prophet,
Yeah.
Hadith of the Prophet, no, he said that the truth will eventually lead you to heaven, sorry, my mouth, and lies will eventually lead you to
Exactly.
hell.
No, truth means doesn't mean just in speech.
Yes.
Like how we say this title of Lady Fatima Siddiqa. Yeah, we have to follow that beautiful title in our
Yeah.
daily life. Means the one whose ideology, thoughts, and actions are matching to each other. That person is a truthful person. Not
see.
only, you know, the way that we talk. No, like I'm truthful means if I say I'm a Muslim,
Yeah.
so that means I really love my Lord, my Allah, and I really love His commands, and I really want to respect. But you know, because of some environmental problems, maybe I'm not
Of
practicing
course,
it. Yeah, that
nobody's
kind of, yeah.
perfect, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree with you.
And we have beautiful 3-4 verses in the Holy Book of Quran, which says like الطيبات للطيبين والطيبون للطيبات. I love it the way Allah, you know, He's putting in this verse that the good women are
Yes.
for good men. You know, that is the beautiful match. So if that person is Iraqi or Irani or African, doesn't matter. You know, Islam has come to just destroy all those kind of idols and custom which
see.
we have made because of our ignorance.
That's a very important point actually, because you know some people believe that culture can interfere with their marriage. Okay, for example, you are from Iraq or the other one is from
Yeah.
Afghanistan or Iran or other
Exactly.
Muslim countries. I don't know, or even another Western countries. Okay, because of their culture, that does not their culture do not. Fit into our culture, okay? There would be some, I don't know, fights, maybe leads to divorce or, yeah.
Don't we think that that might be an adulteration of the actual word culture? You
Yes,
know,
we need to
it's
define
a
the word
degeneration
culture.
of culture actually. That we need to, we need
need
to
to
define it
define
and see
the
the
word
differences
culture.
between what a real culture is from the Imam Jafar Sadiq, Imam Musa Kazim with the revolution of the Cultural Revolution, and versus things like I don't know, to point fingers like Halloween and Christmas and
yeah.
just silly little things that don't matter whether they're there or not. That these things are set around this, you know. It's not like
No, I think
clothes or
nowadays,
food.
yeah, unfortunately, the way we are presenting the deen and religion, and we are separating between deen and dunya, means this is religion, yeah, and this is our lifestyle. Because you know, after, for example, Ramadan al-Mubarak, people they say, oh, now we have to start our, you know, actual life. Means, you know, we are going to start our dunya, you know, like
Yes.
worldly and material life. But I say no, it's not like that at all. You know, we cannot separate deen from dunya. Therefore, I really love the title of this show, Lifestyle. You know, deen means how do I live? Tell me which corner of life deen doesn't have anything to guide me. Even if I want to go to the washroom, deen has so much. You know, if I want to eat
Recommendations,
something,
yes,
sit,
for
yeah,
everything.
stand, wearing, looking, you know, whatever we want. Deen is full of beautiful guidance, and the way we can't separate soul from the body, the same way we can't separate the deen means religion, from dunya means from our daily routine life or whatever culture we say. So we don't agree at all that if I have understand my religion, and then if I'm really following this religion with enjoyment, then I don't have anything big issue with cultures, you know, like, because that is my culture and I'm expecting my spouse to follow that culture. And that is very something very natural one. So then other small things never bother me, you know, never comes in between. Because if according to Nahj al-Balagha, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says that if someone is looking towards Allah, yeah, if he's aiming high, then this worldly stuff will become so low. If I'm not looking for high, if I'm looking just for this minor, you know, specific small issues, then I will have big problems. And I'll say, why, you know, you people have this kind of custom, we have this, you know, I'm from West and you are from East, and we can't match, because you have to give me this kind of gift and you have to do this and that. So it comes, it shows my again purpose of life and the way I'm dealing with my religion. That means I'm not a religious person, you know, the actual, you know, like, because the religion which Islam is looking is completely different, and we have so many beautiful role models amongst
yes, I have actually I have seen such cases, you know, some people were like that. Okay, thank you so much. Sister Nasreen, do you have anything to tell us?
Now we're really going. No, of course. I mean, Sister Nasreen always adds everything that, you know, in the end you're like, oh, what do I say now? But, you know, I want to bring the positive side of the culture, you know. Yes, we agree that anything that separates from the culture, for everything that is considered, that has a title culture, that takes away or might cause a doubt to whether to marry someone or not, that is a worldly thing. But if it's something that brings unity, you know, even a worldly thing can bring unity. If it, like for example, if the person is a Muslim from England and the son finds someone from China, you know, instead of looking at something, oh, they won't fit in, look at the positive things in it. You know, the genetic richness and diversity, the ancient civilization that comes into the family that you learn. You know, we shouldn't look at culture as something a negative. The only time it's a negative is if it's not culture. You know, like we mentioned, this degeneration is something that came from a pagan practice that we're just carrying on through generations, because why? You know, it's like
maybe there are some good aspects in that. You know, that there are some traditions that are from old ages, all right? But there are some good things. If it is, and it shouldn't
cause a separation. But once it begins to cause a separation, and also one thing that the Holy Prophet said, there's something that brings, when something, beware of events where new clothes are needed. You know, so if it's something that is such a focus in life that you spend so much time and money on it, it becomes extravagant. Why is it? It's usually because of society and because of extended family, that you feel that they're going to judge you, that this should be done. You've lost your freedom in this, and that, you know, you're a slave to what other people think, and then you're putting other people in front of Allah. You know, because then who cares what other people think? What does Allah think? If you're pleasing Him, then believe me, it'll please the right people. And if it's not pleasing Him, you'll never please people, because there'll always be something else and some other level of, you know, like marriage ceremonies.
Yes,
you know,
unfortunately.
That is where a lot of sin and maybe a lot of barakat is lost in the actual marriage because of the ceremony, whether there's music or that they're following some tradition. And I'm sorry to mention this, but, you know, my background is Pakistani, so I feel like I have the right to say it, but a lot of Pakistanis follow Hindu, let's say, traditions, Hindu culture that they brought into Islam, and it's become a norm. Why is it a norm? Let's look back to what the Imams did, you know. Firstly, Imams married different societies, different cultures, different races. You know, when I say races, it's the Holy Prophet, or Imam Ali married someone from Africa to have Hazrat Abbas. The 4 Imams at least married slave girls. Imam Zaman is the son of a Roman princess. And the question often comes up: can we marry? Can Sayyids marry non-Sayyids? Well, let's just look at the Imams to answer that question.
That shows our ignorance. Therefore, I'm just stressing a lot.
So culture should be seeking knowledge. Anything that adds to progress, should be, that is cultured.
I see.
Anything else is degenerative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it shouldn't. I'm supposed to turn the camera turn over to the kitchen.
Yeah, let's go to the cook. Yeah.
Before I go to the cooking, I actually wanted to say something about our discussion. It's a very interesting discussion, and I think that in today's world of Muslim lives, you actually, like in every family, there is sort of like in the extended family, a mixed marriage of different race. And I just wanted to mention 2 points. First one is, like we were talking about, you said appearance. Yes. Like, for example, when you go to the masjid or the Islamic center, I've seen a lot of instances where somebody's not wearing a hijab, doesn't wear hijab, but for the respect of that center, they're wearing a hijab. And obviously they don't know how to. And like people are keeping on bugging them, fix this, fix that. At least they're trying and showing some sort of respect. Or like people look at them in a, from up to down way, like, oh, you're the one who doesn't wear hijab. These things, they will just discourage people from coming into these centers. And the best way of preaching Islam is your akhlaq. If you're a good person, people are going to say, what do you believe in? Like, who's your role model? I want to be like you. And the second point I wanted to say was that about in-laws, when you marry somebody from a different culture, it's actually it's very challenging, more challenging than marrying somebody from your own culture, and it actually enriches your personality, and it's sort of like a jihad to see what is your yardstick. Is it really Islam or is it your culture? Yeah. If, for example, in the Iranian culture they bring this and this and this for the bride, but in the, for example, European culture they don't, then where are you standing?
Be patient, all right?
Exactly. It's like, is it important? How important is it for me? And why do I feel that way?
Exactly. And with the in-laws, sometimes when like a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law from a different culture enters a family, there's like an up to down look. But this is really against the Islamic teachings. Like Sister said, there are so many imams who married people from different backgrounds,
And slave girls, to show that. And these were not just slave girls. These were said and noted to be the most virtuous women of that time. That was the thing. So, put in the garbage all these differences and look at the akhlaq of people.
Yeah, we need to be one ummah. That's the most important thing. Yes, we're trying to make an ummah.
For progression, for knowledge. Because one who goes for knowledge and one who's in the dunya, they'll never see eye to eye.
Exactly.
Never.
No. And like when you're belittling your daughter-in-law or son-in-law, you're just harming your grandchildren. You're just harming your son or daughter who's married to them, because they're going to be the ones having the hard time. If parents could really realize that, they would never actually have that approach, to actually see that this is the one whom my son loves, my daughter loves. This is the mother or father of my grandchildren. That's how I have to look at them. All right. So I got really emotional about that.
All right, thank you. Sister Fatima, can you put the strawberry back, because they want to have that.
You want to have it in a minute?
Camera, yes. All right, so let's see the strawberry.
Okay, so before I start with the donuts, I'm going to be doing a glaze.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because I know Sister Zainab is here. I'm going to be doing a glaze, inshallah, a strawberry glaze, which I think is pretty healthy. So my pot is actually quite hot, and again I'm using copper pot. I'm gonna add this in here. So I've just roughly chopped them. Yeah, I've just roughly chopped the strawberries. I'm gonna let them cook a little bit, and then I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water to it. Okay.
Winter strawberries.
Oh.
Exactly, winter strawberries.
Yeah.
I don't know, but strawberry usually, to me, they taste like tasteless. Yeah, they're bland.
Well, if you really find like organic strawberries.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
in the market, there are so many ones that are like, they're grown in
even in winter?
Yeah. You always, it's actually narration that you have to buy. Sister Najafi, please correct me if I'm wrong. You have to buy everything in the season. You have to buy it when it's fresh.
Exactly.
So, But like since last time we did cinnamon rolls, and then I saw these strawberries in the market, and they were so beautiful and red. So I said, let me do something with the strawberries.
You cannot resist.
Tasteless to you, then just sprinkle some sugar on and let them rest for a little bit in the
Exactly.
fridge, and that brings out the flavors.
Yeah,
know.
but you know, we try to
And then
eat
add
healthy.
Okay, so this is going to start boiling. It's actually starting to boil. I'm going to add a little bit more water. And then, like I said, I don't like to give measurements. It depends on how sweet or tart your strawberries are and how sweet or tart you want your sauce to be. Okay, so you have to keep tasting it to see how sweet you want it to be. I'm going to add some powdered sugar, but I'm not going to add it now.
Yeah.
It has to boil a little bit, and then
Maybe soften somehow.
yeah, it's going to get softened, and then, but meanwhile, we can start with the cake batter.
Yes.
All right, so before that, I am going to start with, like I said, I'm doing donut hole, cake donuts. So I want to share with you a trick that I found through trial and error. Everybody uses these non-stick sprays, which I never use. I can never bring myself to use because they're like garbage, seriously.
Really?
You know, they're
I was
all
looking for
chemicals.
some.
I'll tell you something that's natural.
Like, yeah.
I'll give you
Didn't
something
buy.
that's actually natural. So the best thing to do is tahini.
Yes.
Wow.
Tahini is a great non-stick ingredient
Wow,
element.
didn't know that.
You actually use that on the bottom of your pan. I like the taste of tahini, but
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want your dessert to really like taste like tahini, right? So you can add
that's fine.
mix that with sesame oil or some flavorless oil.
Well, I just think it's so good for the brain, so just put it in.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, you know, your dessert it's going to have a contradicting taste. So I'm going to just put some time. And my pan is a silicone mat, so it's actually quite, I hope it's not going to stick. So I don't need to be too generous with brushing it. Last time I was making this, my 3-year-old son was doing this for me.
Oh,
He loves
mashallah.
watching me baking and cooking, and he was like, "Mommy, can I do this?" So
Well, then you'll have to bring him along and let him do
yeah, that's why I remembered him.
Oh, I can lend you mine if you want.
All right, so I'm just going to put tahini on this, and you know, I think this is, for me, this was a great finding, that always my cakes would stick, and then now I
yeah.
have something natural.
Yeah.
So it can be a discovery. Yeah.
I usually just use normal oil and brush it on, but wow, tahini.
You know,
is
sometimes
great.
they say
I use
like,
it in salad dressing.
Yes,
Just-
today we
it's
were
really
talking
good.
about tahini actually with
Yeah.
Sister Nasreen, and we had in salad. She made a great
Yeah.
salad. Yeah, you need to talk
Coleslaw.
about it sometime. Yeah, it was excellent.
yeah, it's really good. And you know, tahini comes from crushed sesame, so it also has a very warm nature. And nowadays, like the natural doctors, they always say that a lot of the problems that people have is because their blood temperament has become cold because of all this cold food that we eat, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very important to realize that, especially if we're living in a cold environment.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
You know, that's true.
but
In the
you know,
West, they
you
don't
need to
talk about it so
elaborate.
much,
No,
but
not
in
at all.
Iran,
That's
it's talked about a lot. This cold and this warm temperament, and that's really important.
You know, I think
and
that
that's why dates are so.
You need to elaborate more because I have seen some people who don't understand the concept of being
Yeah.
cold or warm or
Actually,
what.
I figure that in America they're more familiar with the like whole warm and cold thing.
Because
but in
they
Europe,
are recently, you know, it's a trend that people are going to holistic doctors.
yeah. But in
Yeah.
Europe, still a lot of people prefer to do the chemical way. Like, for example, in Scandinavia, whenever I would ask my doctor, like, are there any healthier replacements, they would usually say we don't know, or we don't get into that realm.
Wow, there's some places, but I have actually a Finnish aunt, and everything is so natural. You know, every way that they deal with their illnesses is through natural therapy, and they really have helped a lot. So I think it depends where you go, but I think the trend is really away from I call them the shaitan, the devil of the health industry, the drugs,
Yes.
which kill us. They don't cure anything. Only food. Food is medicine, and medicine is food.
Yes, you're right. They may cure something, but actually there are side effects.
The reason
How can
that
we
we're
get rid of that?
away
those
from
side
it
effects?
is because we're away from the Islamic system. You know, we haven't, we don't seek our solutions through the we're going on to a health program
I know,
here.
instead of marriage.
Seek our
You
solution
know, that's
from
a
the
really
Quran.
important.
Okay,
No, that's, you know,
well, if you're not
eating,
healthy,
it's
you
really
can't get
important.
married.
No, because, you know, they say, as they
Oh, that's a
say,
good one.
the way to a man's heart is through his mouth. Stomach.
Oh,
Yeah,
stomach.
stomach. Yeah, stomach, you're right.
Yeah, but
or
Islam
mouth.
never says.
Exactly, yeah. You're
No,
right.
it is in Indian, Pakistani culture a lot. Even in Iran, I don't know. But
Yeah,
in our culture, they say a lot. Yeah, they emphasize a lot that just you have to be a nice, very good cook. But we, according to tradition and hadith, that al-mu'minu ya'kulu bishahwati ahlihi. Mu'min changes his taste according to the according to his family.
Yes.
You know, he's not stubborn, and you know, he's not being just, you know, I want whatever I like it. He's very, very flexible. But yeah, definitely it's
I think also it means that if you don't take care of that part of the needs of a man or a woman, you know, give her the money or whatever, then you're not even going to look up because you're too hungry. You're not healthy, you know.
Yes.
So obviously it goes up. You
Yeah,
know, the
yeah, yeah.
needs. Then it goes to love, and it goes to
no,
expression,
because
and
you
it
know,
goes to knowledge.
unfortunately, we have so many problems with some. Maybe we can say majority of some Indian Pakistani cultures, families, that no one is there to teach them that how to be
Eat healthy.
no,
How to be a wife?
Yeah,
We're
how to be
guessing
a
now.
wife, because they are just paying attention to food. They are very good, like they cook fresh bread, roti at
Yeah.
home. And sometimes they don't give time to their husband, and they say, no, I'm fulfilling my duty because I'm a best cook. And yeah, because as a counselor, I have come across many cases, so many cases that, you know, I was shocked. I said, really, you don't know that you have so much to do more, not only this part, because yeah, unfortunately we focus a lot. I'm not talking about healthy, I'm talking just about the food and kitchen, but healthy one, definitely there's so much to do about it. Like we really need lot of teachings about Islamic prophetic medicine and
before that, the Quran, it has a system, but we
I think the viewers need to have some break, all right? All right, stay tuned. It is Lifestyle.
There are many Islamic phrases that one should know and teach their children. In this lesson, we will learn some important phrases and when to use them. Before a Muslim wants to start something, whether driving, walking, reading or eating, we should say Bismillah, which means I begin in the name of Allah. When we want to greet someone, instead of saying hi, we should say Assalamu alaikum, which generally means peace be with you. And the reply when someone says salam to us is Wa alaikumus salam, which means and upon you peace. To thank Allah when we finish our food, when we sneeze, and in every situation, we should say Alhamdulillah, which means all praise is to Allah. To reply to someone when you hear them sneeze is Yurhamakullah, which means may Allah bless you. When we see anything beautiful, instead of saying wow, say Subhanallah, which means glory be to Allah. When we are leaving, instead of saying goodbye, we say Fi amanillah, which literally means may Allah protect you. Whenever we plan to do something, for example, tomorrow I will clean up, we should say Insha'Allah, which means if Allah wills. When we do something wrong or we see someone doing something wrong, we should say Astaghfirullah, which means I ask Allah for forgiveness.
Welcome back. We are going to have a short look at the kitchen. Let's see what Sister Fatima is doing. Okay, sister.
Okay, so I just put my butter here because the oven is here, it got warmer. So now I'm going to share the ingredients for our strawberry donut cakes. Now remember, this can also be made in the form of muffins. And the best way to make muffins is to actually like not line, you know, if you're using silicone mats or even the metal, what do you call them? Steel ones or non-stick ones?
Yeah.
The non-stick ones, you still put the tahini, and then when the muffin rises, it's going to go around and it's going to be really pretty.
So
you know
you
what
don't
I mean?
have to put the
Yes,
paper
you're
in.
right.
You don't have to put it,
Because
but
that
just
paper
oil
is
it
a
properly.
headache,
And
you
then
know?
it wastes, it's like a lot of israf.
Yeah.
But they do look cute though. So, but that's why I chose the donuts, because I found them to be so cute and kids love it. You know, there's a hole in the middle.
Exactly.
It's really cute.
Kids,
All right.
only kids.
Kids. This recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups of flour, half a cup of sour cream. You can also use buttermilk, and in order to use buttermilk, you don't need to go to the supermarket to buy buttermilk. If, for example, for every cup of milk, you add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, you mix it and you let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then you have buttermilk.
You know, by the way, I use lemon for that, and it works the
Yeah,
same.
exactly. Any
Yeah.
sour or
Lemon,
acid
yeah.
element.
Works well.
We have 1 egg, less than 60 grams of butter, 50 to 60 grams of butter, and half a cup of sugar. Now, we have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, these things are the ones that I added to the recipe, and I find them to be so good. And really, these I highly recommend you make them with these, because they become so much healthier. Now let me tell you what they are.
Healthier really does add richness to the taste,
does.
doesn't it?
And
It's not just like, oh, it's good for my body. You're amazed
It
how
tastes good.
rich it tastes. When
And you know, when
yeah.
your kids, they get used to healthy stuff, even healthy desserts, they're gonna stay like that. They're not like, ugh, white bread,
Yeah.
you know, like, or like, ugh, broccoli. Alhamdulillah, my son loves broccoli. And when I see like kids, they're always like, ew, vegetables, or parents are having a hard time giving their kids vegetables. I hope he stays like this. But it's just
Inshallah.
how you make them used to it. So the secret ingredients. I add wheat bran to it. You can add up to like 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Now remember, the more you add, the heavier they will become. So don't add too much. Don't go like overboard and become like super healthy.
Get healthy in one recipe.
Exactly. This is wheat germ. Wheat germ is really, really good for your health. This is, I actually used, I think, 1.5 teaspoons of wheat germ. And this, my dear friends, is so good that you should add it to like every drink that you have. It's malt powder. And malt powder is so healthy, because once I was making a hot chocolate recipe that called for malt powder, and I was like, I had never used it before. And then I was like, when I was making these muffins or like donuts, I knew my son was going to eat it. So I was like, I want it to be super healthy. So I added this, and now like I add it to all my sweets. So
And you find it everywhere?
yeah, I found it from the supermarket.
Okay. good.
And they have like a more expensive one, cheaper ones. So I'm going to add my flour. I'm going to add my dry ingredients into here, the malt powder. And always try to sieve your dry ingredients, especially your flour, or if you're using cocoa powder, always sieve it. I'm going to add everything in here.
So what difference does it make to the actual finished
It
product?
aerates the dough, not the dough, the batter. And it really,
makes it
really,
lighter and fluffier.
exactly, definitely. And sometimes you have like lumps, especially if you're adding baking powder and baking soda. Sometimes, you know, like you're eating cake and there's this really, because it tastes really bad if you just have it like that, right?
Sorry, I'm a little worried about the strawberries.
No,
Everything's
they're
okay?
perfectly fine.
Yeah?
Look at the
All right.
color, Nasreen. turning out
Yeah, it's
amazing.
really, well, actually, I have this smell right in front of me, and I have to tell you all that this smell, it beats anything I've smelled before. It is so, it really is amazing. I'm shocked that this smells like this.
Alhamdulillah.
It's so fragrant.
And I really recommend you try it because it tastes
Oh, I will.
so good. And then I'm going to add my half a cup of sugar. All right. Now, my dear friends, remember that we're going to give this a small whisk. These are my chopped strawberries. Oh, I forgot to mention the strawberries. We have 3/4 cups of roughly chopped strawberries. As you see, the pieces are quite big. I like them to be like, so you feel the strawberries in the cake. You can make them smaller, but do not puree them because they're going to just be like really mushy. Now remember, this is a very, very important step in making this recipe. Add the chopped strawberries to your dry mix. Why? Because if you don't add it, if you don't coat the strawberries with flour, they're going to sink to the bottom. So you have like the bottom is going to burn with the strawberries, but when you mix it with flour,
Nice. I always had this problem
Exactly.
with every fruit I was
whenever
trying to
you're
add
using
to the
something
cake
wet
something.
or any kind of fruit,
Yes.
try to always coat. Even like chocolate chips, they say, like you have to coat it with flour. So this is my dry ingredients, and the really good thing about this recipe is that it's so easy. You know, it comes together in like what, 15 minutes.
This is the easiest one, the one that she's making.
So
So easy for me.
Yes, you're right.
I'm adding my egg. I have 1 egg, and this is organic egg, free range organic egg. Always eat healthy. My sour cream. Buttermilk works great. I figure, personally, I don't like using milk in recipes, in cake recipes, because it makes the batter a little runny. And yogurt or sour milk and
Yeah, yogurt is really good.
buttermilk, it makes it
yeah.
really, really moist. So we're not going to waste. we're
Yeah,
gonna-
if you know how to substitute buttermilk for, the substitute of it rather, then it makes it easy. They just add lemon in it and you have buttermilk. And yogurt is so healthy,
This smells so good. All right,
especially Greek yogurt or full
exactly.
cream.
Cream yogurt, Greek yogurt, full fat yogurt. And when you're making buttermilk, don't use like skimmed milk because it already it doesn't have, it's not really milk. It's like, so light already. So if you want to make buttermilk from milk, make sure
It's
to use,
paper bag milk.
I know.
It doesn't have anything in it.
Alhamdulillah, we are healthy and we can enjoy milk. Because sometimes the fat content of milk is so high that you can't even drink milk,
Oh, yes, you're right.
All right, so there we go. I added my vanilla. Remember what I told you, being careful about buying vanilla in non-Muslim countries. Try not to, if you're buying the liquid vanilla, make sure that it doesn't have any alcohol element in it. And the powdered ones are just as fine. But
I don't know why everywhere I'm sometimes watch these people who are making recipes or using vanilla. They're always using just the liquid,
Yeah.
right? Why?
But alhamdulillah here,
What's
Why not
wrong
the
with
fresh?
that? Yeah,
Because
why not the powder?
because it has much more smell to it, and a little
I
goes a
see.
long way.
But if you can, the vanilla bean is even better.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
take out but it's not
Freshly.
always available.
So, I'm going to make a hole in the middle, and I'm going to pour everything inside.
Yeah, there really is a difference between the powdered something and the essence of something. And then the purer, the more natural, has really much higher.
And I really
content
wish
of
one
the
of you could
natural.
come near me and smell it. The malt powder.
Yeah.
Sister Nasrin, please
I
come
can.
and smell it.
Okay,
The
I can do
malt
that.
powder
Yes,
Oh, and then.
smells.
I can smell it from here. Honestly,
Oh my God.
It
Yeah.
smells so different.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, that's better. Wow, yeah.
It's the malt
I
powder.
noticed that when I use date syrup instead
Yes.
of sugar, of course I use the whole thing, a whole cup I think. Wow, the taste was so filling.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. So I can imagine that.
use it in cake?
I was making actually. It was a cake recipe that I made into donuts. Not donuts, sorry. I
Chocolate
can't even say
cake?
it. Cupcakes.
Cupcakes, yeah.
Cupcakes, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
have tried them. Even you had some muffins.
the muffins, yeah, well, those were all whole wheat.
Yeah, whole
But I
wheat
tried to make
muffins.
these cupcakes as healthy, so I put the...
You can replace
like that.
honey or date syrup or even grape syrup, but
Yeah.
you have to be careful about the adjustment because they're a little different. Like you can't use half a cup of honey for half a cup of sugar because that's liquid, you know. So as you
Right.
see, this is quite a
No, I looked it up and I got the measurement.
all right. If the camera could show the strawberries,
Where's
I'm so
the
excited
soup?
about
They're boiling.
the water is finishing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
the
was
re-
worried about that.
The reason I'm boiling it is actually because it takes the color out.
Oh, that's a good thing?
Yeah, it takes the color out of the strawberries because I'm going to be using it as a glaze. That's why. All right, I'm going to add my...
So you want the color.
To
The
come
out,
colors
yeah.
come, okay, color out of it.
Instead of using food coloring, so many people
Oh,
use
yeah.
like food coloring like a lot. And I see like when you have beautiful strawberries there, you're making a strawberry donut cake.
Of course, there's a slight difference in price
Oh yeah.
between food coloring
But you
and
know what? You're gonna
strawberries.
like we talked about it. You're gonna spend the money on the doctor. All right. So you can puree this
Yeah.
through the mixer, the hand
Alright.
mixer, or you can just leave it like this to have
Alright.
like pieces of the strawberries.
So
Now, while you guys go to your discussion,
what are you
yes,
gonna
yes.
do?
Can
Just
we
have
go
leave it
to our
like that?
discussion? Yes.
I'm just gonna
Please.
add
Yeah,
one
you
more thing.
go over there
Yes,
and we'll be
I'm going to add my batter because I have donut cakes. Trust me, it's way easier to use this one. It's a disposable piping bag. I'm going to put everything in here, and it's, as you see, it's a very hard batter. So I'm just going to put everything in here and then pipe it into my
Squirt it
holes.
out.
So please, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sister. All right. All right. Let's go back to our own discussion about marriage. I have seen some people who are married, but they are from different faiths, like a Christian and a Muslim, and they're married. Is it possible?
Yeah, very nice question. In Islamic point of view, a man can marry to non-Muslim, means from the people of the book, Ahlul Kitab. But that marriage should be the temporary marriage, not permanent one. So in Islamic point of view, man is allowed to marry non-Muslim, only the people of the book, Ahlul Kitab.
Not Buddhists, not
no,
Hindus.
No,
I see.
definitely. Only Christian and Jewish,
Ibrahim.
yeah. But the women, she cannot marry any, even people of book. She has to marry with a Muslim man.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
even a temporary one.
No. Yeah, because we're talking about temporary one, yeah.
Yes, you're right. All right, let's go further and maybe culture, because nowadays I know many of my friends who are single and they don't want to marry someone who is from another culture. It is a problem these days because the way you define culture is somehow different from another person. They both are trying to define Islam. And the way they are both Shia, they are both from two Muslim countries, all right? But the way they are looking and defining culture or Islamic culture or something, all right, in their own life is different, and sometimes they're opposites. So,
Yeah, I'll give you a very beautiful example of Zulfa. Zulfa, she's the heroine in that role model, a young, beautiful, and rich and high-class girl. What happens in the time of our Prophet? Because Prophet has come to break all the wrong custom and cultures which are against our fitra and our whatever intellectually we want to enjoy this life, in this temporary life in this planet. So what Prophet says to one of his companion, his name was Juwayber. Juwayber, he was black, he was poor, and he was from definitely very low class.
yeah.
And Prophet said, go and marry with Zulfa.
Wow,
And
wow.
when, Zulfa is the, that upper class and the more prettiest one and rich also. So, Yeah, and Juwayber was, amazed and astonished by this offer of Rasulullah. And maybe he himself, he didn't have that guts, to go. But Prophet encouraged him a lot and he went to propose. But I really salute to Zulfa, that young girl, because her ideology, her mentality was completely according to the Quran. Because usually this ayah is zinat, and we decorate our wedding cards with this ayah, with this verse of the Quran. وَمِنْ آيَاتِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. One of his sign is that Allah has created us with from the dust. So what kind of pride, and racism we have to believe on it. And the second one after the famous ayah which Allah talks is وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم. This is the sign of Allah, that Allah has created the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your colors and your tongues, your languages. So that is the ayat of Allah. That is the sign of Allah. So Zulfa, we were talking about her as a role model, that she is totally believing on this verses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Therefore, she accepted the proposal of the black man. His name was Juwayber. And the second ayah after the famous ayah is about وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ ألسنتكم وألوانكم. The diversity of our colors and our languages, the races which we have, these all are from Allah. These are barakah, ni'mah, gift. So Zulfa, even the father of Zulfa, Lubayd, he was the companion of Rasulullah. He didn't believe that Juwayber has come to propose my daughter. We are Arabs, and we are from,
It shows that the right the woman has in Islam to make her own choice.
Exactly. Good
Even
point.
this very, very obvious, example of how so-called high in society this lady was, and her father didn't initially agree with it. And she insisted, no, this is from the Prophet.
And she said, we are from the same one family, Adam and Hawa. This was the statement of Zulfa. And I think she has more challenges with her custom and society compared to her father, because she is accepting the proposer, and she is going to live with Juwayber as a black and poor man. But look at this amazing example. Not only this, even our Prophet, he has married his two cousins with very lower class people, according to them, like means slaves. We know Zainab, was the cousin of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is married with Zayd. Zayd was the adopted son of Rasulullah. Zayd, and he was a slave. And we have many examples, as you people were talking, that how many A'imma alayhimus salam, imams of our, not only 5, 6, 7, 8 imam. Imam Hussein's wife was a Persian lady,
Yes, I know.
Then if we come to Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, then Imam Kazim, then Imam al-Radha, then Imam al-Jawad, then Imam Hassan al-Askari, Imam Hadi and Imam Hassan al-Askari. 7 imam. And
but
4 of
Imam
them...
Hassan al-Askari, he did marry a Roman princess, although she was a slave when he married her. So
all of them, most of them, they were slaves. And I have written a book about, for example, Lady Hudayfa, the mother of Imam Hassan al-Askari, the wife of Imam Hadi. You will be just amazed, most of them, they were from North Africa. And look at their, the way A'imma alayhimus salam, they're adopting them in that sense in their own culture, and they're teaching them, like Hamida, Samana, and also we have Hudaysa, as I said, and Najma, and beautiful list of
Yes,
mother
you're
of A'imma and the wives of A'imma alayhimus salam. And not only that, leave all of them, even Rasulullah, if you don't believe on A'imma, for example, if you're from Ahlul Sunnah, like look at the beautiful character of our Prophet, that his two wives, Maria, and
Maria.
also Safiya. Both of them, they were not from the same race. They were Hashimi, they were Arab, but Maria was from, again, North Africa. From Egypt, according to one tradition. And what about Safiya? Safiya was a Jewish lady, from Israeliyat, but still Prophet is marrying with them. So prophets, not only this, even when I was writing about Lady Khadijatul Kubra, the book about her, I was just amazed. Lady Khadija, she's not just giving some excuses the way we give, that, oh, I wish I was the same class of my one, like Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like, I wish I could marry him. In my custom, we are not matchable. We are not capable. I wish he was, the same class of me. No, not wish. Practically, she is the idol, breaker. She is coming in the field, and she is practically saying that because I am Tahira, she was Tahira, the pure lady in that time of ignorance, and I'm looking for a Tahir, for a Amin, for a Sadiq, for Rasulullah, and because Rasulullah, he was a prophet, he was infallible. Therefore, I'm saying, okay, he is Ma'soom, But look at the bravery of Khadijatul Kubra, because she's breaking that custom.
Exactly, to be the frontier, all right? To do something as a first person is always the hardest thing,
Exactly.
That is, all right. Sorry, before you go on, let's see in the kitchen if Sister Fatima, do you have anything? We don't want to miss something. Yes?
Yeah, sure. I just piped everything into the donut pans, and then I had extra batter, so I just put them in some cupcake liners. Before I was waiting for the camera to be here. Before you put them in the oven, you just have to tap them on the surface that you have. So you take the holes away, and then they go in the oven 170 degrees and bake for 20 to 25 minutes if they're muffins. Now these are donuts, so I think they will need about 15 to 20 minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Sister.
You're welcome.
All right, yes, Sister Nasreen, what about you? What do you want to tell us about? Yes, of course.
Well, as always, I was so engrossed in this conversation, actually, that I didn't want it to stop. The questions that we have today are from our audience, our viewers that they've sent in, and some Ahkam questions, as always. So the first question that we want to bring up or present you with is a Muslim man who is married to a Muslim woman has migrated from his country. After a lengthy stay in the Western country, or the West, he wants to begin a temporary marriage with another woman who is from Ahl Kitab. So she's not a Muslim, but she's from either Jew or Christian. So he wants to do this just after a few days after divorcing his Muslim wife from a type of divorce that I can't actually pronounce. Can you pronounce it for me?
Yeah.
Rajai.
That one. Is it permissible for him, especially when his wife is still in her waiting period? So within the first 3 months. That's the first question. So we're going to have the answers in a minute for those. But the second question that comes, again, Ahkam, is some Western governments allow their daughters to be independent from their parents. So this is the law. After she's past the age of 16. If she seeks her parents' advice, it's only for seeking their opinion or out of respect for the parents. Is such a young girl, an untouched girl, allowed to marry, be it permanent or temporary marriage, without the consent of her father? So this is a question, because in Islam, you know, we know that the father is a very important door to open before marriage, going through the father. So that was the second question. And of course the experts are going to answer these questions. The third question we have, again from the viewers, is if a woman is over 30 years of age and she's still a young girl, so she's still untouched and pure, then is it necessary for her to seek the permission of her guardian to get married? So that was the third question. So does she have to, if she's more than 30 years old but she's still a girl, does she have to seek permission from her guardian? So we're going to get the answers from the experts.
Salam, in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. To continue answering the questions, another question, a man is in a rajai, talaq with his wife. Also, this man wants to have a temporary marriage with a non-Muslim woman. Well, because it's talaq or raj'i, it means you have a little bit of connection still with your wife, and that connection means you cannot go and have a temporary marriage with another woman which is from other religions. The second question is, a woman has asked that I am independent and I have not gotten married still up to now. Is it necessary for me still, when I want to get married, to ask for the permission of my father, or no, I cannot do this alone? Well, the answer is, if that independence means that your father has given you permission to do whatever you want, including getting married with whoever you want, then this independence means, yes, you can get married without taking permission. But if that independence only is in a form of, living in another place and just, going to do work, but about other kind of stuff, no, your father says that you are not independent, you are still my girl, and you have to take my permission. So in this form, you have to ask for permission. The last question is, a woman has asked that I am over 30 years old and I am still untouched, like the previous question. Can I get married without the permission of my guardian? Well, no, the answer is no. The age doesn't matter. If you are 20, 18, 30, 40 years old and you have not still married, you have to ask for permission of your guardian or your father to start your marriage. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Welcome back, my sisters and probably brothers are watching our program. This is Lifestyle with me, Zainab, and we were talking about marriage and different aspects of marriage, faith, maybe race, or some other things that we were talking with Sister Razia. Okay, you were talking and you were saying about different aspects and actually we covered the story of a person who was from another tribe, or I don't know, from the low part of the society, to get married to one who was the prettiest girl and a famous one in those days, but the girl accepted because she was actually pure, a tahara girl who wanted to obey God's and Allah's demands.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Nowadays we are having so many revertees and convertees, yeah?
Yes.
And if we as a Muslim, if we don't pay heed and attention on this part of Islamic command, that in Islam there is no racism at all, otherwise our brother and sisters, they are coming towards our religion, they are actually facing so much problems if we are not welcoming them.
Yes.
Yeah, so where they can go Yeah, so first of all, we have, alhamdulillah, touched upon this topic very maybe in detail, that Islam is just looking for akhlaq and for deen and religion. And maybe now someone is looking that for spouse selection, if you want to talk.
Yes, of course.
So I usually say to my students that, you know, if you want to select any spouse, so select the richest one and the handsome and the beautiful one.
Oh, how do you
Yeah.
define handsome? The
Yeah.
person who is rich.
Why? Because Islam has come and changed our perspective of beauty and richness.
That's it.
Not temporary beauty and not temporary richness. And you know, the marriage is not the marriage of two bodies, two souls.
Yes.
And we are not paying attention of that soul, you know, that our character, ourself, the actual me. Who am I? I'm not this eyes. We never say, you know, I am, who am I? Eyes, my head. No, my head,
Exactly.
my eyes. The my is there.
Yeah, this
so that,
I,
yeah, that
me.
souls are meeting, yeah, and they want to live together, not only here, in this planet, yeah, hereafter. So if for example, if I know someone is, you know, perfectly suitable for me, but unfortunately, if that person has any kind of disease, for example, cancer, and I know maybe he is alive in this world for only 4-5 years, I'd never go to marry, you know, in that case, maybe. Because I said, no, I want to live with him, like, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50
Yeah.
years. I don't want to live just for 4-5 years.
I think it depends what amount of money he has.
Yeah.
No, be realistic. Yes, it does these days.
But yeah, but this planet, this life, temporary life, compared to hereafter, is like that. You know, just 4-5 years. So if you want to choose someone who can satisfy you here and hereafter. Like again, how we say for Lady Khadija al-Kubra, هي زوجة رسول الله في الدارين. You know, here and hereafter, she is the wife of Rasulullah, our Prophet, and also Lady Fatima al-Zahra, salamullah alayha, she is the wife of Imam Ali here and hereafter. So we are looking for someone for Darain. You know, we are looking again so high, unlimited. But if we just look for outer beauty and for that money, which we call richness, then that will finish here. You know, that is so much temporary.
And it
So
also can come very fast too when it's not there in the beginning. I was going to say, what about the age? You know, there seems to be a trend towards men marrying older women. Does Islam say anything about it? Because maybe parents will be opposed to it.
I always appreciate the Islamic philosophy and wisdom. Islam, you know, Islamic commands are very, very like in the smart way. Islam never fixed any age for marriage.
Yeah,
even.
and there is no
Why?
number,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Yeah,
that
maturity is
shows
important.
Islam
I mean,
knows. You know, like different culture, different. Even me, maybe I'll get more quicker, mature compared to someone else. You know, and maybe I need earlier than someone else. If someone else is very busy, indulge with her and his studies, so he doesn't need it. You know, so Islam never says this age particularly. Islam says according to your need, according to your feelings. You know, whenever you feel someone is very like even age doesn't matter. We can see
the differences between the two. I mean,
like Lady Khadija al-Kubra and Rasulullah.
The woman has to be younger, or or the same age. But if she's 2 years, oh no, my parents won't agree. You know, this to me it's nonsense. But I just wanted you to point it out.
We have the example of Rasulullah again, our Prophet. Like according to some tradition, our Prophet, he was 25, and Lady Khadija, she was 28.
Yes.
Although if she's 28 or in her late 20s, still she's older than Rasulullah few years
Yeah.
or maybe so many years. But Islam never sees for this. But definitely, according to psychology, it is more comfortable sometimes, like to marry in your own culture for comfort, and maybe to have someone younger than you as a wife. That is a norm. But if you feel there are some always exceptional in our society, if you feel that person, because sometimes the girl is more mature and the boy is less, sometimes like again we have to see that if they are matching nicely, then nothing matters in Islam. No race, no color, no language, no country, no boundaries. The boundary, as I said, is iman. لا تنكحوا المشركات والمشركين. That only we have the command in Quran. Unless that, there's no any restriction
What
about
about
it.
parents? All right. For example, let's say I have found someone who is younger than me, maybe, and I feel that he's mature enough. All right. But my parents are totally standing against me. All right. What about that? Am I going to stand against my parents? Because as we know, after worshiping God, Allah, right, we are supposed to respect our parents.
Exactly. This program, Lifestyle, is coming to change their mentality to parents.
Yes, you're right.
Because
Inshallah.
parents, they have to understand.
You're
if especially if the girl is mature, like
Yes.
near late 20s and 30s, and
30.
her ideas, her suggestions are valuable, then definitely they have to pay attention on their ideas, especially nowadays. Nowadays, when we travel, we all have come across again this multicultural life, this global village. So please, I really beg and request to parents that just like Lady Khadija al-Kubra, just pay attention on Allah's command and live freely, not slavely with the custom and with the tradition which we made ourselves. The
Exactly.
custom and the culture which Allah made for us, we have to follow that.
Yes, but there is another problem beside it. You feel that a girl, that girls are emotional, and she feels she's in love with him, and she cannot see the reality of the man behind the mask. Maybe he is wearing a mask, all right? So this is sometimes that the parents are talking about being mature or grow up, They say, come on, you are in love with him. You cannot see the real character, the real problems maybe in this man, this boy. So do you recommend this pre-marital relationship? You know what I mean? Because when you start having a relationship, but relationship I don't mean dating or so, but talking, because you need to get to know that man you're going to spend the rest of your life with. But when you start this relationship, then little by little you would say, all right, maybe I would change him. Oh, it's all right. Okay, I can close my eyes. All right.
Yeah.
This is something that happens.
It depends on the upbringing of our children. Like if we don't upbring them
very good
well,
point, sister.
then we will have so many problems in our in
Yes.
this new generations. And one more thing which we really need to adopt in our culture is Islamic culture is to educate, to have some courses, because the seat which Allah has given us as a wife or as a husband is not an ordinary and easy seat position. The position is so high because before marriage, whatever I do, for
Yes.
example, Razia, before marriage, if I'm giving charity in the way of Allah, $1, it's equal to $1 or 10, because Allah always counts minimum to 10. But after marriage, if I give the same charity, it's 70 times more I'm getting reward, because the example is just for prayers, but for each and everything, because my level of closeness to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will raise 70 times more. So if I'm going to sit in that position as a wife, I have to open my eyes. I have to learn because, you know, even for cooking, we need some kind of course,
Yes,
you know,
you're
for
right.
designing, for interior design, you know, for still everything, each corner of life. But this is also very complicated skill to be a good wife, you know, and husband,
Yes, yes.
then mother, and then father. But unfortunately, mostly we don't have it. I've seen in some cultures, they literally keep some workshops, some short courses for youngsters before they get to the marriage.
Yes,
Yeah.
they actually claim that they are great husbands. They can make a great husband, or they claim or great wives actually, but they are not. And they, you know, they are afraid of taking part in some classes or going to some psychologists. You know, they feel that, you mean I don't know how to live? You mean that I don't have the knowledge to treat you well? So they feel underestimated
because
or
it's not common,
humiliated,
yeah.
you know. That's
We have to establish it in our society, definitely. Because if we know that this position is so high and it has so many ups and downs, and you know there are so many subtle points which have to be in detail, because you know it is again matching of two souls, not two
Yes.
bodies. And soul and mind is always more complicated than something which is material and, you know, sensible.
Yes.
So it's so easy to heal the body compared to heal the mind. So mentally, if I am educated and I have a good training to be as a wife, because yeah, usually we know that, you know, for getting married we have to have you know, like physically means ready and qualified, and also financially, you know,
Yes,
definitely
yes.
we
These days, especially
and
these
Islam
days.
says when you get married, you can use your mind double and triple more, multiple, because you're responsible. So one of the reason of marriage and philosophy behind marriage is definitely is that if you get married, you will just increase and boost your talents. You will get so much. But even before that, you have to be ready to take this responsibility. So also one of the conditions before getting to marriage is to educate ourselves as a wife, as a husband. What is my duties and how I am going to deal with my partner?
Thank you so much, sister. I learned a lot. Yeah, thank you so
You're
much.
most
All right, let's see what's going on in the kitchen.
Yeah, I can smell.
Yes, I can smell. Yes, the whole
Can't wait
studio. Honestly,
to
the
have
whole
it.
studio
Just
is
smell it, you're not
filled
getting
with
any.
that great smell.
Okay, so the donuts are out of the oven. They are nice and brown on top. And you can always do the hand test. See, they're moist and fluffy and they jump back. Or you can try it with a knife. I'm just going to make sure, I'm just going to sort of like, because they're still hot, you know, it's better if you keep them resting a little. And meanwhile, I made the strawberry sauce into 3 different versions. So this is the one that was just boiling on the stove. Excuse me. This is exactly as was boiling on the stove. I put it in here. This one is for Zainab.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
a lot of powdered sugar.
Oh my
Let's say,
God.
Yes, I'm so
lot of
sorry.
powdered
I'm so
sugar.
sorry.
Let's say
Like
like
it.
1 cup of powdered sugar. It depends on how, again, I said you can't really give numbers for this, but you have to add tablespoons of, you know, the sauce that was the liquid that was next to this one. So I just poured that and I mixed it until I reached a sort of like fluid consistency. This one is the same sauce, but I pureed it. So inshallah, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use each of them. So I hope that the tahini tricks does not put me down. Because you know when you're always doing something to show someone.
Yeah,
always
sometimes
turn
it
out.
happens. But we remember your cinnamon rolls,
Yeah, I hope these turn out good too.
inshallah.
So
Bismillah.
I'm going to put this here and
If you say Bismillah, it'll turn
yeah,
out.
that's what I was
Inshallah.
hoping on.
Inshallah.
So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There. So I'm just going to slowly, one by one, get each of them out. Yes, they didn't stick.
One word.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Let's have the drum roll for the next ones.
Actually, these silicone mats are really good because they separate really nicely. I think
She's got a lot of courage doing this in front of the in front of the TV. If it doesn't work out,
I know,
it takes courage.
they're piping hot, so
So the mat is also hot.
it is.
Yeah, do you need any help?
No. At this critical time, I need to. It's only me that can help me. The day
Oh,
of
that's
judgment.
great.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
look at that.
alhamdulillah,
that's
they've all come out beautifully. So I guess I'm finished. The muffins are in the oven baking. So for decorating, I'm going to take one, and I feel like this side looked prettier.
I think the natural thing when it comes out is a salawat, no? Allahumma salli ala
Allahumma
Muhammad
salli
wa ala
ala
Muhammad.
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
So, you know what I was thinking? I'm just going to put this next to this sauce.
Oh,
So
wow,
whoever
that looks
wants it,
great.
they can just dip it inside and try it. And our herbal drink is ready as well. So here's one.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it can be for the producer or the or the
These. Yeah,
director.
this
No.
Those are for us, and these are for the men.
All right, so for this one, I'm just going to
They
try
hate
to
me right now.
make it a little fancier. I'm going to use this puree that I made.
Wow, that looks great.
I'm going to pour some, and I'm going to drag it with the spoon. And that's it.
And of course, if you're into cream, you can put, or even yogurt, yogurt on the, okay, I'm half German. They would put cream or yogurt with everything, with the sauce, and add the cream or yogurt with it.
There's one version, and then Zainab's version.
Yes.
I bet you're waiting eagerly. So we're just going to take one, and I want to show you the consistency of the sauce. So it's like this.
Yes.
It's pretty runny. Not like the cinnamon rolls that we made. Look at Zainab, she's like, yes.
Yeah.
Zainab,
She's
don't
gonna
worry.
fall off
A
her
whole
chair.
one is yours. So I'm gonna, Bismillah. So inshallah, when you guys meet me next, I'm going to be serving this with the herbal tea.
Inshallah.
Okay, back to you guys. I'm done, I guess, here.
Where are we going now?
The silence is so like, everybody's like,
We're
going back to
waiting,
you.
we're trying to get there and hunt, right?
So you can also put like double glaze on them as well.
Yes.
But now, because my time is not enough, I need to like put it now. If I had more time and the glaze had set, when you pour it
Yeah.
on top, it turns into a really beautiful thing. And if the camera could show this is a very beautiful pink color,
Yeah,
and it
the
has no
color.
food coloring. It's all natural.
Definitely.
So-
It is really strange to me and interesting at the same time, because I had never seen anything like this with this beautiful and nice color, but without those, those kinds of colors.
Yeah, it's so
Okay,
nice.
so our
Muffins.
muffins are
yeah.
done too.
Breakfast muffins.
So I'm
Lunch
using these
muffins.
really
Dinner
Dinner
muffins,
muffins, yeah.
So which one do you think we should put on the muffins while they're still hot? I think I'll put
Yeah.
this one. I actually wanted to poke these with like a knife or something so they could suck in
Uh-huh.
while they are hot.
I usually do by a fork.
Yeah, you can use a fork or a toothpick.
Yeah.
There's
Looks
one.
like sunflower. Yeah. Can you say?
Wow, let's have some muffin with our sauce. That's a lot of sauce, no?
It is, but it's good. It's all good. It's like no food coloring. So dig in.
Excellent. So I think we're done with the
Yep.
kitchen, and yes, this absolutely beautiful, gorgeous drink.
Yeah,
Smells great, and the donuts. Yeah,
I'm just gonna get ready to serve that and then
inshallah.
be with you with the
So,
fun.
If we don't finish
Let's-
the program soon, then
Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day, honestly. Yes, let's finish it. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, sisters and perhaps brothers who are watching us, the viewers.
Of course
we
they
will,
are.
inshallah, of course, because
Of course,
they
why
are.
not?
We actually have very useful and actually practical tips for their life, for maybe for their children or grandchildren. All right, so this program suits everybody. So. It was all. We are going, inshallah, to continue this discussion with sister, maybe another episode, because marriage is something really broad. It's a broad issue. We will cover, and we will have different episodes, maybe another one. Try to keep your eyes open, wide open, before marriage, and close sometimes after marriage. It's lifestyle. Assalamu alaikum. Fi amanallah.
O God, bless Muhammad and his household, and attend to me with thy best attending in my neighbors and friends who recognize our right and war against our enemies. Give my neighbors and friends success in performing thy prescriptions and taking in the beauties of thy courtesy through acting gently with their weak, remedying their lacks, visiting their sick, guiding their seeker of right guidance, giving good counsel to the seeker of advice, attending to the one among them who returns from travel, hiding their secrets, covering over their shameful things, helping the wronged, sharing kindly with them in goods, turning toward them with wealth and bestowal of bounty, and giving what is due to them before they ask. Let me, O God, repay their evildoer with good doing. Turn away from their wrongdoer with forbearance. Have a good opinion of every one of them. Attend to all of them with devotion. Lower my eyes before them in continence. Make mild my side toward them in humility. Be tender toward the afflicted among them in mercy. Make them happy in absence through affection. Love that they continue to receive favor through goodwill. Grant them what I grant my next of kin, and observe for them what I observe for my special friends. O God, bless Muhammad and his household. Provide me the like of that from them. Appoint for me the fullest share of what is with them. Increase them in insight toward my right and knowledge of my excellence, so that they will be fortunate through me and I fortunate through them. Amen, Lord of the worlds.